Good afternoon, everybody. Crusty Canuck here, episode 2 of Vids on the Fly. Just the reaction I have towards the results of the BC election and the reaction I have to the Saskatchewan election and whatever else is going on in the world today as we speak. So hold on tight. Here it comes. So BC decided to have another NDP government. Okay, my apologies. In the podcast, I said Prime Minister. My bad. I should have said Premier. Yes. So people in BC still want David Eby to be Premier. Okay, fine. Taxation is high. Jobs are low. That vast line of people looking for ugly vegetables, the things to come, right? Nobody's perfect. I'm not going to tell BCers what to do, when to do it, or how to do it. But come on. Really? Do you think the orange wave, do you think the red wave is going to save you? It's not done much federally. How do you think they're going to do provincially, right? To my friends in New Brunswick, too. Why'd you vote Liberal again? Hey? I know the Conservative Party in New Brunswick wasn't very fair during the COVID, but a lot of parties weren't. A lot of mayors, a few cities, a few counties, a lot of bullshit. From what I'm gathering and what I've seen in the news today, everyone's worrying about what's happening in the States with the Trump and Harris thing, and especially what happened at Madison Square Garden. The comparisons to the little men with mustaches. That comparison, the old how high kind of thing. Yeah, I'm not going to dwell into much of that because we both know it's bullshit, ladies and gentlemen. Now, you may disagree with a guy like Donald Trump, but I think he's got his shit together in regards to becoming the American economy and looking after American businesses and blue-collar workers especially. So I can just hear some of the college kids cringing now. Oh, how dare you? How dare you as a Canadian say those things? Oh, my goodness. Sorry, I've been around the block a few times, so I know what exactly I'm saying. Needless to say, we got to do better, again, folks. Regardless of how you personally feel about democracy in this country, taxation will not change the weather. Okay? It won't save the trees. It won't make your drive to work any easier. And it sure as hell won't help you in the long run when it comes to putting your money away for your retirement. Okay? So we can sit here all day and talk about the pros and cons of a carbon tax. It's a fucking joke. Okay? I don't care how you feel about it. A tax is a tax is a tax. The old saying, a Canadian is a Canadian is a Canadian? Yes. Well, a carbon tax on every time you fill up. A carbon tax every time you turn on the lights. A carbon tax every time you turn up the heat. It's getting colder here in Canada. Winter is coming. It's towards the ends of October. We're going to have to pull our clocks back again, because of daylight savings time, whatever that scam is. And we're going to have to, pull up our pants and hold on a little tighter again because of people making decisions in regards to who governs us. Okay? Now, do we need government? Well, yeah, look after things, protect the populace, protect people. Okay? But when you keep paying through the wahoo to pay for this, to pay for that, because some guy in Ottawa or some guy in Vancouver or some guy in Toronto or some guy in Montreal says, we have to save more trees and stop this carbon onslaught. Onslaught of what? Every one of us, every living thing is carbon. Every item, everything you touch, everything around us is carbon-based. Okay, if you watch Star Trek, you understand. Little plug for my trekkers out there. But you know what I mean. Now, I just saw something from Michelle Rempel on her page there in regards to digital ID. So regardless of what plan is in the process, regardless of what the powers that be are trying to push, we got to start pushing back. Okay? We got to start pushing back. It's that simple. I've seen some videos today in regards to the big bust they had in Peel Region. A whole family smuggling in guns and drugs and narcotics and causing some real nasty shit. Now, I'm not going to say the background of those individuals because, the censors that be don't like people using words and using reality. So we'll just say they're not from Canada, per se. Okay? And the police were quite pleased with their efforts. And Peel Region and Metro Toronto Police Services are actually pinpointing the illegal actions when it comes to firearms. And they're not picking on people like you or me or fellow hunters or fellow sport shooters or collectors that enjoy firearms, right? Which is good. But do you think the federal government will pay attention to that? No, of course not. because that means we're being unsafe. Oh, no. Excuse me. Too many cigarettes. But I think the consensus is starting to prevail. I think heads are coming out of the sand, and people are starting to wake up and smell the effing coffee when it comes to procedures and protocols and what's going on in Canada here today. Now, once again, I'm not going to bitch and moan about what happened in BC. It just seemed kind of shady that right after the election, it was 47 to 44 and 2 seats for Green. And then after 9 days of recounting and making sure everything's good to go, and making sure these votes got in, and phone votes went through. Phone votes. Think about that, right? What a shit show. What a soup sandwich that was. Oh my God, really? To come up with the same answer, 47 seats for the NDP and 44 for the Conservatives and 2 for the Greens. Oh boy. So basically the same answer after 9 days of screwing the pooch, telling the people what they should hear, like the truth. But no, let's just avoid that altogether. So, Jesus Christ, you'd think you'd grow up in a country or an area where you had sane adults calling the shots. Unfortunately, it's us cranky Gen Xers and veterans who might have to do it for you. I'm not trying to foreshadow anything, but there's some veterans that I have talked to who are getting fed up with the shit, fed up with garbage music, fed up with garbage service, fed up with garbage art, fed up with garbage news, fed up with garbage leaders, and just fed up with the garbage altogether. You know what I mean? So you, my wonderful audience out there, if you do have the time and you do have the cojones to make a difference, get out there and do it. Talk to your representative. To my American listeners and friends too, get out there and talk to your rep. Talk to your counties. Talk to your districts. Talk to your senators. Right? Demand it. Because it's time that we, the blue-collar people, we, the taxpayers in both of our countries, start clawing back. Claw back. Claw back. Someone gives you a phone call, owe us an additional $5,000 for this fiscal year. Oh, really? Don't bother. Oh, you owe us more money for this, more money for that. Now, I'm not saying be a derelict with your bills. Bills are inevitable. When people start saying there's only 2 things certain in life, death and taxes. Well, death and paying your bills, they're certain. But taxes, well, that can be negotiated because we the people can negotiate them. It's that simple. But hey, you didn't hear that from me, kids. You didn't hear that from me. But needless to say, that's just a gesture. That's a suggestion. Stand up, especially to the local politicians, municipalities alike too, that want to gouge more from you and take more from you in whatever virtue, whatever ideologue that's presenting it. Stand up to it. Okay? Because the BC election, not the people of BC, but the BC election has proven to be, a real shit show. Right? Is that what's to come? If they call a federal election. Now, I know right now, Yves Blanchette has basically given the Prime Minister an ultimatum on his demands, and there might be a federal election coming in the next month. Who knows? Next month or a month and a half, who knows how it'd be. So it'd probably be a wonderful Christmas present to Canadians all over this wonderful country that the Prime Minister gets his ass handed to him, bureaucratically and socially. But that's just me, How else do I ramble on about this? We're all pissed off with Justin Trudeau. We're all pissed off with the way the Conservative brand has gone, the way the NDP brand has gone, the way the Bloc brand has gone, the way the Republican brand has gone, and the way the Democrat brand has gone. The thing is, here in North America, we love our democracy. And each side is saying, democracy is going to be compromised. Well, democracy already has been compromised because apparently now there's 4 names that were added or 4 names have been exposed to the general public in regards to the interference from China. The CCP, not the Chinese people, but the powers that be in China. There's my Donald Trump impression. China. It's all fake news. Fake. But it's not fake news. Right? Legitimate journalists exposed that. Now, whether things are going to be done about it or not, who knows? Time will tell. Whether they actually take some concrete action to do something with those individuals that have associated with said Chinese party, right? Who knows, right? And apparently there's some connection to David Eby, the premier of British Columbia. Ooh, scary. But it's needless to say, who knows? Time is going to tell again. Been sitting on this the better part of a couple of years now with this information and this exposure, and sitting on information here, sitting on information there. And while the minority government in this country, NDP and Liberals, are sitting around giving Pierre Poilievre a hard time for not getting a clearance, the thing is, if he gets a clearance, he'll be sworn to secrecy all of his life. Right? And if he has information that's going to assist this country and help this country and expose some of the poop heads that are calling the shots, and he has to keep his mouth shut, keep his mouth shut, that puts a new parameter on things, doesn't it? And that's not really going to help me or you or anybody else in the next, let's say, 25, 30 years. You know, have to keep things quiet because someone might be offended over this or over that. So it puts a lot in perspective. But needless to say, with the information that I received, that I witnessed today, things aren't really getting that better. There is light coming at the end of the tunnel. There is light for us to see and things for us to do. But ladies and gentlemen, we have to be more vocal. Regardless of what legislation they are going to pass or trying to pass or do it behind our backs, we have to have due diligence. Okay? A little more due diligence when it comes to procedure. And then calling our MPs, too. In fact, I might give my MP a call today and say, what's going on? What's the scoop? What's happening? You know, there's a few of my veteran buddies back in Ontario that have given me some good insight on some procedures. So there's a whole shitstorm coming, ladies and gentlemen. And it's not just for the sake of the military or for the sake of security of this country. It's for the sake of sanity and sanctity of this country, too. You know, like I mentioned earlier about that family that got nailed in the Brampton area by Peel Region Police for smuggling guns, illegal guns. Because even when you look at the press release on the CCFR page, you can see what kind of illegal guns they had there, right? And any gun owner, any legal gun owner in this country, we can tell you the difference between what's legal and what is not legal to have. And that whole table had illegal handguns and illegal long rifles too, meaning some really nasty ones out there that can reach out and touch you when you don't expect it. So, you know, to my fans out there who are not familiar with guns, take my word for it, okay? And this whole crap going on with Israel and the United Nations and UNRWA being banned from operating in Israel, good, because UNRWA was known to be taking money and helping the Palestinian effort when it comes to digging tunnels and placing bombs. But that's just my opinion, though, right? And what say you? So make a long story short for this vid on the fly, ladies and gentlemen, we got to do better and do more diligence. We just can't lie down and accept all these wonderful things. We just can't lie down and go, oh, there, it will pass. No, I don't think it will pass. I don't think a lot of this bullshit's going to pass anytime soon. So we should push the powers that be to pass it for us. That way they know they work for us and we don't work for them. Okay? Now, that being said, keep doing you. Keep doing your thing. Keep doing what's good for you and your family. Go to work, pay your bills, do what you can. You know, I had some bad news today when it comes to repairing my truck. I got to shell another $1,200. Oh my, but that's life. That's the joy of driving to work every day, right? I've actually had people on my Twitter feed about a month ago try to jack me up because I drive a pickup truck to my job, right? And some of those individuals, well, I think the majority of those individuals lived in Calgary and Edmonton, respectively, so they can hop on a bus and go to their job selling coffee or wine, whatever they do. Oh, my goodness. Meanwhile, myself, my coworkers are hauling feed, looking after cattle. So those kids can have a nice cheeseburger if they wanted to. Anyway, I'm digressing. Make a long story short, let us just do what we have to do and let people be. And let these government officials know that they work for us. We don't work for them. And they got to stop poking and prying into our lives. They got to stop prying here, prying there, telling us what to think here, what to think there, what is good for the greater good, when they don't even fucking think about anything greater than themselves. Right? We're seeing the selfish apparitions everywhere. We're seeing the selfish ambitions everywhere. And it doesn't matter what side of the fence you sit on, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? There's even a few conservatives I have witnessed and I have watched carefully, right, that are in it for themselves too. So if any conservatives out there are mad at me for saying that, well, so be it. Welcome to free speech. You can rebuttal this all you want. Just a reminder too, click like, subscribe, and share this all over your social media platforms if you can too. Help us Canucks get our words out there before Bill 263 becomes a reality, or C263, or B, whatever. They keep changing abbreviations. Bill C263, right? We'll say that. Basically, the online censorship, online harms bill, right? Let people speak their minds. Let people talk. Let people read. Let people see what they want to do and do what they want to do without hitting people taking their stuff. When the government gets involved and tries to hit you and take your stuff, then you know the bill is ineffective. And it's not protecting the people it is. It's protecting their sorry asses and their feelings and their stinking ideology. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, if you like and hear what you see, like I say, click like, subscribe, share this all over around. Don't forget to think about donating too. Links will be in the description. Every little bit helps me along the way. It helps me promote my brand. It helps me make this thing all more beautiful too. Anyhow, I should hopefully have a podcast up in the next couple of days. But thank you very much to my new subscribers out there for sticking around so long and tolerating my absence, even though I had my tooth pulled there last week. It's feeling a lot better now, as I said last night, but we'll get things on the go. To my European listeners and fans alike, too, you guys are wonderful. You keep fighting the good fight, too. Keep making some great music. Keep the art alive and start being realistic and start treating people the way you want to be treated. Don't stand for this BS when it comes to racism or this BS when it comes to fascism, because you know who the racists and the fascists are? Other guys calling you the racist and the fascist. The old Marxist tactic, right? Accuse your enemies of what they're accusing you of, kind of thing. You know, oh, I'm not doing it, you're doing it. We've all seen this adage before. Little kids act that way, for crying out loud. Let's not be little kids. Let's start being adults. It's that simple. Anyway, I've been Crusty Canuck from this Vids on the Fly. Hope you all have a great day, a great couple of days. It's getting colder, so don't forget your 𝐊𝐄𝐃. And do what you can, help you out in these trying times. Keep your chin up. Be proud of who you are. Be proud of your accomplishments. And like I always say, humanity and merit wins the day. Take care, folks, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.